Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
In keeping with YouTube's forthcoming policy demonetizing content that has swear words too early on if it's not flagged as unsuitable for kids, here is an official declaration that Frankenstein Control is not in fact intended for young audiences, nor is it appropriate for anyone under or above the age of 45.
So we're made specifically for 45-year-olds.
Exactly.
And only 45-year-olds.
Precisely.
Okay.
Well, now that that's out of the way, welcome, one and all, to this week's trial of Frankenstein Control. We've deceived you this entire time into thinking this was a podcast, when actually it's an ongoing study, the results of which are published by edition in the peer-reviewed scientific journal Fuckery Quarterly, establishing a clinical environment to test whether chemical batteries can be charged by human sadness.
Wow.
If I say any more, we'll lose our research grant, so let's get starting on the show there.
Sounds good.
Oh, wow, it's working. Oh, my God, write this down. Record this results. They're going to want this.
Oh, no. Oh, it was made of flash paper.
Turns out our momentary joy at the experiment working canceled out
Yeah. 10 years of research gone.
down the toilet.
Down the drain.
What are we going to tell Mr. Musk?
Tell him goblins did it. He's so afraid he'll just believe us.
That usually saves us, so let's just rely on that. It's tried and true.
Rely on the gobbles.
Well, to get the show started off correctly, let's do a quick check-in on the headlines. Been a while since we've done that.
Yes.
Actually, I've been doing it just a little bit here and there, but we haven't had a dedicated check-in in a while. Well, of course, President Trump's State of the Union address is set to be delivered tonight.
What?
Yep, that's tonight.
My God.
And is likely unfolding right now as we record this.
Thank God. We're missing it.
I was going to say, which is precisely why we're recording this instead of watching. For her part, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who traditionally sits directly behind and above the president, has promised not to shine a cat toy laser pointer down onto Trump's podium to distract and belittle him during the speech.
Ah, well, that's nice.
Citing, of course, ample evidence that he quite frequently distracts and belittles himself without the need for outside interference.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the country, the Iowa cock-ups went off today without a hitch. And we had a clear winner within hours. Unfortunately for some, that winner was Bernie Sanders, so the DNC and Biden campaign spent the majority of this afternoon doubling down on reporting discrepancies and problems with app software, hoping against hope that if they wished really, really hard and delayed just long enough, they might just get to see Biden lose to Trump this November.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is the dream of every establishment DNC member.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's their one and only wish.
It's their fervent... I'm afraid they'll get it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, moving on.
We're all gonna die.
We are, and then not soon enough. But actually, that's a great segue into our next segment here in international news.
Oh.
As I understand it, China has released some popular new bootleg version of Stephen King's The Stand that's had a lot of viral marketing success.
Is it?
The story is similar from what I've heard, except instead of calling the superflu Captain Trips, they named it Officer Corona or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't been paying a lot of attention to that. I haven't been feeling all that great lately.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah, we got a package from Wish.com, and right after that, I started feeling like shit. I don't know what's going on. Coughing a lot more than normal.
Oh, no. Oh.
More phlegmy than usual. We'll see if I get better. I'm hoping I do.
Fingers crossed. Oh.
It turns out you were the ultimate vector for the coronavirus.
Oh, no!
It all started from you after your trip to China.
I've never been to China.
Your frequent trips to China.
Your Captain Trips to China.
Well, speaking of feeling under the weather, Rush Limbaugh took time out of his busy schedule of making Sims versions of AOC and Rashida Tlaib and immuring them in inescapable houses with no doors to announce that talking shit for years and years is evidently carcinogenic.
Oh.
That means I'd better quit while I'm ahead tonight and turn the show over to my two co-hosts here.
Oh. Well, just to clarify, out of curiosity, for real, he got a bad disease?
He's got like stage 4 lung cancer.
Dear God.
Cool.
I mean,
It's Rush Limbaugh. Fuck him.
I mean, that's true. We can all focus on Alex Trebek, who's still fighting his stage 4.
Yes, he is.
Was it pancreatic?
Yeah.
And
That's some bad shit.
one.
Yeah.
Much love to Alex Trebek.
Keep that in the take.
Wait, Alex Project?
Alex projects.
Welcome to Frankenstein Control, where we get names right all the time. I'm your host, Tyler. To my right is
and I got my name from a toothpaste.
and in front of me, as always, is Rebar.
I'm Rebar. Sorry, coronavirus. I'm Rebar, and I forgot to make a joke about this. We never fuck up our lines.
You're
here
too
at
busy
Frankenstein
holding
Control.
concrete together.
Yeah, and being a rigid metal object that's usable as a melee weapon in the Condemned games.
Yeah.
And an awesome heated projectile in the Half-Life games.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, you remember that, right? The crossbow that you put the rebar on and it heats up the rebar before it shoots it.
No, what game is this?
Half-Life 2.
I don't think I ever used that weapon in Half-Life 2.
Oh, it's great. It pins dudes to the wall when you shoot them. It's awesome.
God.
Are you thinking of the Buzzsaw?
I am not. I swear, it's a rebar crossbow.
Rebar crossbow.
And like the place where you
Docs like
put
bars.
where you put the crossbow bolts is like a hot plate. So you put the rebar on it and like heats it up and makes it all glowy and orange. And you shoot it and you make Combine guys go and
That's metal as fuck.
Get
How
'em-
did I never do that?
they pin to the wall and they're all ragdolly and it's goofy.
Oh, I would have loved that. Why didn't I do that?
Because you were a fool.
I must have missed that weapon somehow. That's
You were
rad as fuck.
You were too busy using the gravity gun.
You can always use that weapon again when you play its sequel, Half-Life 3.
Well, Half-Life Alyx is coming out. You just need $1,000 fucking VR system to use it because Valve was really good at business moves, I guess.
Gabe Newell's money pit, his Scrooge,
Gabe Newell's money pit.
Scrooge and McDuckie money pit is depleting, so we got to refill that before we can make any more games.
Well, they have to keep it low because anytime he gets in, the money level rises so much.
Fat joke. Speaking of fat,
Didn't he lose like a ton of weight?
oh, did he?
I don't know. I feel like
I don't know.
Gabriel was at least like trying to be not as fat.
I thought he's been staying out of the public sphere because
That too.
fat too. Look, I'm fat. I can make all the jokes I want.
Does he base jump off the Valve building using his loose skin as a
Oh God!
as a wingsuit now?
He's transformed into a flying squirrel.
It was worth the wait.
Yeah.
It's also a
He
kind of
hits
a
a building and that Combine flatlining noise happens.
it is kind of a dream of mine that when the Valve Index drops in price, I might pick it up. But like $1,000 is a little steep.
Yeah.
That's a little steep. But I do want to. I just. God damn it! I want to play Beat Saber. That's all I want in life. I want to play Beat Saber. I want to play Megalovania on Beat Saber. That sounds awesome. And also, like No Man's Sky and Subnautica have VR, and Half-Life Alyx comes out, and just all those like really dumb, goofball, idiot VR games that I feel would be great for playing at parties. Because you could put it on the main TV so people can see what's happening, and then you
Yeah.
strap one person in, and it's just like a fun party time where everybody gets to laugh at how inept you are at cooking virtual food.
So my experience with VR, and I might have told this story before, but I went over to a friend's house who had a, I think he had the Oculus Rift set up.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You have friends?
That aren't us?
I mean, speak for yourself.
This was a childhood friend I visited during one of my sojourns to see my folks about
okay.
2 years ago. And he's got a big old house, and in his basement he had an Oculus Rift set up.
Wow.
And he has rich parents. And he showed me how it worked, and we played a little, couple games on that, and there was a couple different offerings. One of them was more of like an interactive simulation than a game proper. And it was like on the bottom of the ocean.
Ooh.
And all these jellyfish come by. And it was like eventually like a blue whale comes by. And it was really cool. And I was very impressed. I thought it was really fun. And the thing about that one is a step in real life equals a step in that game. So like you move around under your own power at the same speed that you normally walk.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
Wait, how do they do that? Does he have like a treadmill or some shit?
No, you just walk around. It's like you're between these sensor poles, and you just like walk around in there.
Oh, okay. He had that kind of setup.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. That's true. The various VR things I've seen online, they have that like set up your play space, and like you basically just mark your territory with how
peeing in the corner.
Yeah, pee in the corner. But you like
text the isotonic charge of your whiz, and that's how it knows where the game boundaries are.
Yeah.
But
yeah, wow, though that's wild.
So that one was not disorienting because you're stepping around in it in real time, so to speak. Then we tried one that was like this gladiator battle one where you have to like.
Are all the guys like all beefy?
It's the beefy one with the floppy weapons.
Yes, that one looks hilarious.
It was funny. It was also surprisingly difficult, and you move around by manipulating these two handles like you're skiing, and like 30 seconds of that, I was immediately ill. I was like, oh god, I gotta stop. This is horrible. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. This is just the worst.
Give me a bucket.
Then there was this like Van Gogh game about the painter.
A Van Gogh game?
That was like another, more of like a artful simulation rather than a game proper, and that one...
Van Gogh.
You could actually like be inside famous Van Gogh paintings and move around in them. And movement in that one, you had like the clicker wand, and you would the floor was a bunch of grids, and you would point the clicker wand at a grid, and you would instantly teleport to that grid.
Oh, wow.
And, like your orientation would change around you in relation to the painting and the surroundings, but it was less disorienting because you knew where you were going, and then you were there.
Yeah.
So that was also interesting. Those are the 3 different types of movement that I've experienced in VR.
Honestly, I think one of the best VR experiences I've ever had was playing a spaceship game. Mm-hmm. Like, that just seems like the perfect format for it, because you just move your plane around with the controller.
Right.
But you have the ability to look around all the side windows and stuff, and like above you and stuff. Like, it's like an X-Wing style cockpit, so it's got the windows on the sides and on the top.
Yeah.
And like, that's fucking perfect. And I'm surprised there aren't more games like that for VR out there.
That Ace Combat game that I was talking about a while ago.
Is it VR compatible?
That's VR compatible.
Exactly.
That's another one where I feel like I'd be immediately ill. Like, I already don't want to do this in real life because it seems really difficult and scary. Why would I want to play a video game to the opposite of those reasons?
Yeah. Well, like I was playing No Man's Sky a while back. After the ingoodening of it, and like I was enjoying it, but when I was flying in my spaceship, I often found myself going into third-person mode because I'm like, I wish I could look around my fucking cockpit.
Yeah.
I just want to look around.
You want to see a button?
Exactly. I want to look around to like my sides and stuff and see what's going on, and I think that would make me play in first person a lot more for a lot of things, as if I didn't have to worry about that second stick. I could just and look over somewhere, and then I can make a shoot happen, and it's great.
I think that Elite Dangerous game that I was very interested in before I found out that it was a multiplayer online only might be VR compatible as well. It strikes me as the kind of game that would be.
I forgot what's Elite. Oh, I'm thinking of Disco Elysium. Sorry.
Elite Dangerous is very similar to No Man's Sky. It was called Good No Man's Sky by a lot of people. It's like a space exploration with like a 1-to-1 galaxy. And the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that shit would have to be on the cloud, because how could you install the entire universe on your PS4?
Yeah.
That's some holodeck shit.
Well, speaking of Valve and its corpulent CEO, we're going to go ahead and segue on to Fat Guys.
Yes.
Yeah, because something happened, B-Right?
Something did happen in the world of sumo that I am a new and dedicated fan of. So I wanted to do some corrections from my, like listening to last week's episode.
Yeah.
You listen to our shows?
Yeah, don't you?
At least someone is.
Yeah. I'm all 38 of our views.
Our total views over 100 episodes.
Exactly. Like I've since learned things about the sport that I'm already like, oh shit, no, I was wrong about that when I was like listening to myself talk about it.
Yeah.
So basically, when Taylor said are like the matches best of 30, because I said like you go a bunch of times or whatever. That is how a sumo tournament works. So they're called a bancho. That's what a sumo tournament is.
That's a bancho matches.
And when it is a bancho match. It is. That was well played.
Thank you.
When you hear the word tournament, you naturally think people get eliminated when they lose, but that's not the case. That's not how it works. So it's the same competitors the entire time. Everybody goes a whole bunch of times. Usually they last for like a whole month or half of a month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So what I was actually watching, I was catching the highlights of the January Bancho. And that's what I've been watching on the NHK channel. And so that is the way it works. And at the end of the tournament, they look back on, and your ratios is who determines who is the champion. Like how who won the most and had the least amount of loss. Your KD ratio, bruh.
You're ruining my KD and sumo, bro. Give me back the controller.
Yeah.
Fucking make your own Xbox Live account.
And that's also how the ranking system for sumo wrestlers works. And
it's also how the prime minister in Japan is elected.
I would absolutely believe that. I just see Abe throwing somebody out there. That'd be metal as hell.
I mean, yeah.
I wish he did that to Trump when he was there. Because that did happen.
Ultimate power move.
Anyhow, and here comes Abe. He's going against a wrestler who is way larger and fatter than him. Speaking of, there was a rikishi. That's the actual term for sumo wrestlers, a rikishi. And there was one named Enho this time around, and I don't think this was his first tournament, but he's relatively new to the sport, and he is the most, shall we say, normally proportioned by conventional definitions.
So like instead of a sumo wrestler, he just looks like any main character in a 50s movie.
Sort of, yeah.
He's that weird, like in shape but not.
Yeah. Well, actually, he looks like built as hell. He's only slightly fat, and he looks pretty strong, and he's also not as tall as most of them. So he actually looks. If you saw him, you wouldn't be like, that guy's definitely a sumo wrestler. You'd
be like, that guy lifts.
Yeah,
probably.
Exactly. Of course, if you actually saw him, all sumo wrestlers outside of the ring have to wear like traditional Japanese garb. They're never allowed to like go around in a hoodie.
No,
really?
Yeah.
What?
You're the face of sumo when you're
like,
in that prestigious order.
So like you're just going around in like the big yokozuna robe and stuff.
You wear like a fuck.
They aren't rocking the fundoshi at like the airport.
No, they're
like going through TSA. Oh yeah,
sir. We're gonna have to put you through the scanner here. It picked up something. I don't know where you're hiding it. No, they have to wear a yukata.
Okay,
The geita wooden sandals and stuff.
Wow, they got the clippity clops.
They got the clippity clops.
Man,
they gotta walk around that way.
It's to prevent them from stealthing the whole game.
Yeah. But anyhow, the Enho guy, everyone thought he would like lose all these matches because he's one of the youngest ones.
Enho or Endo?
Enho. Endo is another one.
Oh, Endo and Enho.
There is Endo and there is Enho.
There's a sitcom in the making there. I can just tell. It's The Odd Couple, but Japanese.
Yeah. But yeah, Enho he's like definitely one of the younger wrestlers. I think he's only like 23 or something, and he's also like a lot smaller than a lot of them. So everyone was like, oh yeah, this kid's gonna get his shit wrecked. And no, he cleaned up. Like his matches are some of the most entertaining to watch because just like he has to use like raw skill.
Yeah.
Because he can't rely on strength to push these guys out. He has to use like friggin' Kenshin dodges and shit to like get around these guys and knock them out of the ring. It's rad as fuck to watch.
There's a shonen anime in the making here.
I think there is a sumo anime. I think it's like relatively new. I've actually been trying to find it, but
It's called Shokugeki no Sumo. Only the weeby of us will get that joke.
I didn't get it.
Because there's Food Wars' Japanese name is Shokugeki no Soma.
Mm-hmm.
So, Shokugeki no Sumo.
Okay.
I'm hilarious.
I understand the joke now.
I see Taylor's enjoying his gigantic sumo lunch. Despite the fact that he's not qualified for any matches yet. You bring dishonor to the sport.
He's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a good head start already. I thought I might as well just follow my bliss.
Start the bulking process.
Well,
You got to cultivate mass.
yes, I'm cultivating mass, B-Right. That's why I'm 8 meters wide.
It'd jam you through the front door like those people getting on the subway in Hong Kong with those sticks.
I thought they used the like American Gladiators, like big Q-tips.
The giant Q-tips. No, but
Endo and Enho?
Yeah, Endo and Enho. So anyhow, I was talking about like rankings in sumo. So
Yeah.
the way a grand champion like a Yokozuna is, the way you advance to that is like having a certain extremely high amount of your KD ratio has to be extraordinary over several tournaments. You usually have to place in like several tournaments. And then on top of that, you have to like conduct yourself with like utmost honor outside the ring, and then you're allowed to be a Yokozuna. And once you're a Yokozuna, you're never demoted. Like the rest of them can fluctuate throughout rank depending.
Oh,
on
okay.
whether
So
they
there's
lose or win.
no challenging for the champion belt.
Yeah, it's not. And sometimes there can be multiple. There have been periods where there was no Yokozuna for years, and periods where there was like 4 at once.
Wow. The Yonko.
It depends on their qualifications, but there's like some fluidity with the other sumo rankings where if you lose a whole bunch, you can be demoted from your current rank even if you just attained it. And so maintaining your rank is like a big thing in sumo.
Gotta maintain.
And but once you're Yokozuna, you can't be demoted. However, if you fuck up a bunch and lose a bunch of matches, you're expected to retire. So it's very common for them to pull out of tournaments abruptly with an injury. If they like lose too many matches, they're like, "Oh, I'm injured. I can't compete anymore in this tournament. Carry on without me, guys. I'll be watching, cheering you on." And another thing I noticed about injuries in sumo is as the tournament went on, like that sport is fucking brutal.
Really?
Like the guys started out, I didn't notice like as the tournament went on, like every day I noticed that the same guys that I saw wrestle the day before now had like more and more tape on them, and bandages and like fingers splinted together and stuff. And like these guys got fucked up because that is a really that is a contact sport for sure. And
Potentially the most contact sport.
Yeah.
Besides fucking.
Competitive fucking.
Which that's going to be in the 2020 Olympics. We're going to fucking Japan. They're trying to the birthplace of hentai. There's going to be competitive fucking.
And I think we're going to win because last I heard, Daniel Avidan is playing for America.
God bless him.
Anyhow, I want to wrap this up because I hope I'm not boring people with my sumo knowledge.
Well, what happened, B-Rai?
So the tournament.
What got you so hype?
The tournament was finished a couple days, like last week, and the guy who won. Actually, it was not this past Sunday, but the one before that. And the guy who won was the bottom-ranked wrestler in the entire thing. And he was the first Rikishi from his province in like a century to win a tournament.
Oh, wow. And
he was really hoping to win this one, and he just won match after match, like completely defied everybody's expectations. And finished with like a 14-3 record.
Holy moly.
And there was this other guy named Shodai who was really kicking ass, and I was really enjoying his matches. And he was really like, I was thinking he was going to win, and it got to a point where if like Shodai lost a match, otherwise he would have won. And then this guy was going up for like the final bout, and if he won this match, he would take the tournament, and if he lost, he'd have to compete against Shodai, and then it would be like a best of.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like so Shodai was like watching backstage with like bated breath, and like he fucking won the match. And it was really incredible, and like he immediately burst into tears, and like you're just so proud of him watching, and it was like, oh man, I feel things. He won the tournament. I'm so proud of him.
Man, worked his way all the way from like the bottom rank. I think the anime that we can make based off of him is called Power Bottom. I think it'll be a big hit.
Oh my god. That wrestler's name was Tokushoryu, by the way.
Toko Shoryu?
Tokushoryu.
Stop firing beams of ki at me, Beer.
Sorry,
Stop
It
it.
just automatically happens whenever you speak Japanese. Weird energy attacks occur. It's a dangerous language.
God, you're burning the house down.
Also, the guy who I mentioned last time who like picked up his opponent and like carried him to the edge of the ring and dumped him out. That's my second favorite wrestler, and his name is Tochinoshin. And he is
Take no shit, Toshinoshin.
he's Latvian, and I think the main reason I like him is that he looks like H. John Benjamin, who is the voice actor for Coach McGurk. And,
Wow. How'd he place?
he was really, really good at the beginning, and then he finished with I think he was finished 6 wins, 8 losses. So he actually, after he was really strong coming out of the gate and won a lot of matches, and including one where he threw the dude out, and then he just was losing every match that he fought in after that. And I was like, damn, dog.
Seriously.
But
man, that's kind of a, I guess he served in thinning the herd.
yeah.
And then he got to a point where the herd needed no more thinning.
Yeah.
And instead, he got thinned.
He got thicked.
He got thicked. That's right, because he... because of corpulence.
He got down with the thickness.
That's the song they're going to play at the sumo tournament at the 20... That happened in this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, at least there's one good thing that's going to happen this year.
What's that?
This is Olympics.
Oh, yeah,
They're going to have the Plympics. Because rumor has it they're going to have a Gundam there.
Oh.
And so that makes me excited. I'm like, sports, whatever. What? A giant robot! It's probably just going to be like the statue that they had at Obida. And then it's just they're going to cart it out onto the field and it'll I don't know.
It's going to come alive and it's going to play soccer.
Ah, awesome.
They're going to cart it out onto the field and blow it up.
Oh, my God. That'd be the day of greatest tragedy for me.
Some mean-looking kid who looks like fucking Sid
Did I say
from Toy
Obida or
Story.
Odaiba? I can't remember. Anyway, what? Sorry?
I said some mean-looking kid who looks like Sid from Toy Story just runs out with an M80.
It blows the whole
thing
the
up.
whole 60-foot thing up.
Yeah. Spectacular explosion. Pieces go everywhere.
Be like, oh, Sido.
Kid puts it on TikTok and does a Fortnite dance.
Have
That's
either of you
brilliant.
watched or read Akira?
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
I actually just watched it with
Because
Melissa.
didn't the events of that story start with the 2020 Olympics?
Yes,
in
they
Japan?
did.
Yeah,
Yes, they did.
yeah.
They did indeed.
So Akira's going to happen now.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
It's where the last fight takes place.
That's
Is
right.
they're at the Olympic Stadium.
Well, the story takes place way after that.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I think wasn't their stadium built as a cover up.
Something like that. I don't know.
It started with that and then also ended with that.
Ain't nobody understand Akira.
Kippa would know, but
Yeah.
he's not here.
Yeah.
If our most beloved Josh were here, he'd be able to explain it to us because he read all of Bart Kira.
Lissa got tired of, she was curious about, she got tired of missing references to it. So she's like, damn it, I remember seeing the commercials for this as a kid, but I never saw it. And I was like,
Yeah.
I watched it 11 years ago and don't remember shit other than a motorcycle fight against clowns.
That was Batman Beyond.
No, seriously. That thing from Batman Beyond fucked me up in the head because I got them confused with Akira. And the Batman Beyond thing is probably certainly a direct reference to that.
Yeah.
But it seriously did conflate themselves in my brain. And
Does anyone get whacked with a pipe real hard?
Oh, yeah, man.
In Batman Beyond?
No. But boy, I do love when the sparks are coming off that pipe when he's dragging it along his motorcycle and Tetsuo bashes that guy right in the face with it and his blood goes everywhere.
He uses that pipe to smoke the meth. The Japanese clown meth. Of Mount Fuji.
That's the name of the episode. Japanese clown.
And then in parentheses of Mount Fuji.
Okay.
Thank you.
You already read it, but you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here second. I mean, then again, that's completely on brand for us.
Yeah.
we love
how it goes.
We love spouting the old news. That's what we're good at. It's how we function. And also, for a last minute, late bit of news here, I have a confession to make.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
I'm your fool.
I'm not actually a sumo wrestler. I know. I'm sorry.
You just fat?
I'm just fat. I'm not even fat, B-Right. Behold!
Oh my God, he's naked. And also thinner, slightly. Kind of. Not really, though.
What are you
Taylor,
talking about?
you're just naked.
Yeah, look at the floppy.
I don't want to.
That's a 3/4 floppy disk. I've got more nude pictures on it. Behold! It's on the big screen. Let's pop up some popcorn and watch us movie.
God, no.
Oh, it was a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great night.
I'm going to kill myself.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secret to save the entire human race and the entire universe.
Helicopter, helicopter, helicopter.
What?
Helicopter.
What are you doing?
This is my penis flopping around.